Hi guys, my name is lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, then I have some fun videos for you. You guys, okay, I have a controversial video. I'm gonna stir up some controversy. I don't know if it's that controversial, but everybody's saying that brown is the new black, but I think that gray is the new brown. I think brown has been in the forefront, has been kind of replacing, first of all, nothing will ever replace the color black in clothing, bags, shoes, anything like as a whole. So that's a blanket statement, okay? We all know that. But everybody's been obsessed with brown for so long, but we know that trend cycles take years to kind of filter, right? Devil Wears Prada, okay, we know the line. It takes years for the very top, you know, designers, whoever's creating the pieces to kind of set a trend, and then it takes years to filter out. So you're still gonna be seeing a whole lot of brown. You guys know my entire, not my entire, but a good portion of my bag collection is brown bags. I fell in love with the color brown 5 years ago when I started my brand, and I just was like, brown is the most perfect thing ever. It's very universal. I just feel like it embodies me and I love it so much. But what I've been seeing nobody's been talking about is that gray is making a comeback, and not millennial gray, not the like cool toned, everybody makes fun of millennials for everything in their homes being gray. I know a lot of people like that. No, you know, not putting any names or anything. That's obviously been a thing. We all know that. No offense. Everybody's homes are beautiful and outfits and whatnot, but it's the joking, quote unquote, millennial gray that's infamous. I think the gray is getting a major upgrade for 2024. First and foremost, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put up videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Okay, long-winded intro where I essentially explained everything, but I don't know, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I think everybody loves to kind of like guess which color is going to be trending, and I've talked so much about how I think especially with like the wear that we all had, like literally the fatigue that we all had with the insane rapid fire, quick changing trends that happened into 2022 and 2023. I think we're all a bit tired of that. And so this is this is not like what I think is going to be the trending color. This is where I think people are leaning in general when it comes to putting outfits together. But I think that gray is getting a really cool, like it's the older cool sister, you know, that there's something like very cool about muddled grays. My jacket today is technically a green gray, if you guys can see that, but literally there's something cool about like the really weird toned grays. We're gonna get into some of my favorite bags that are already doing this. Hermes has already been doing this. A lot of the runway shows that are happening now for 2024 are having gray featured a lot, and it's been happening more and more and more, but think like super dope, very future facing, not what everybody thinks of as just like a sheet of gray. And honestly, this is not surprising at all because we know how trends, like I've always said that I think trends go in a circle. It's almost like they bounce around a globe. They kind of go in opposite directions, but then they'll go back to the opposites. So it's like, it's kind of predictable almost. So we think of brown as being such a forefronted color. My entire home, as I'm looking around, everything is brown. All of my bags, I think the brown, I just figured fits in with my skin tone so well and better than any other color. Yes, I consider brown and gray to be colors, okay? They are tones. And this is a weird nerdy thing to say, but we all see colors differently, tones differently. So like, that's what I meant earlier when I said like, it's kind of ridiculous for there to be like colors being trendy. Everybody's saying it's burgundy, and like, yes, of course, burgundy bags are like always gonna be a vibe. It was red last year, so what do we go to next? Red from burgundy. After brown, what's kind of the opposite of brown? Gray, right? So that's how I see things, and I have just for months now been saving so many images of Instagram and Pinterest people putting full outfits together that are very gray centric as opposed to brown. And the coolest thing in my opinion right now, let's take for example my Abby bag. I think the coolest thing will be merging really unconventional mixings of colors like gray and brown. That's what I'm seeing. That's how I'm seeing things. I think for so long in like conventional fashion, right when I was a kid, I was told, oh my God, don't wear black and brown together. Don't wear blue and black together. And it's like, actually, those are the chicest color combinations in my opinion. So like mixing brown and black, mixing gray and brown, mixing gray with really cool tones. I don't mean warmth to cold. I think like really innovative tones, let's say. That is what I think. Not just predicting, like I'm actually just seeing this already happening, and I don't think anybody's talking about it. Okay, so to start off with a more conventional, cool toned gray, what we all think of as gray, there are some brands that I love that have been doing this. Yes, it's a very me list as always, but to start off with Celine, I think Eddie Slimane could be at the forefront, especially as he's kind of going back to very 90s. Again, I think what everybody's calling quiet luxury is really just quiet luxury is kind of like the underlying idea of buying less at higher quality, but really what everybody's calling quiet luxury is 90s minimalism. I have entire videos on that. You can watch the whole long-winded rants. And so really like so many designers are really just leaning very 90s. Of course, the 20-year cycle, it's perfectly timed. And Eddie Slimane is at the forefront of that, obviously, because he's an icon in his own right in so many different ways. And he has come out with so many gorgeous shades of gray. And so if you want a more cool toned, like what you think of as a classic gray, just add some white to some black in the painting world. This Celine 16 in the color Zinc, like perfect name. This is a very blue gray. This is a very kind of slate gray almost. I have my Celine 16 in a dark taupe color, aka a brown bag because I'm predictable. I love it so much, but something like this, especially if you want to kind of work your way back into gray, if you're a millennial like me and you're a little traumatized by the color, if you want to work your way into something, I would go for the mini in this because the Celine 16 mini, again, I really try not to double up on bag styles, but I would buy the Celine 16 mini. It's so cute. And in this color, like it's kind of perfect. And then because I think Eddie Slimane is a genius, quite frankly, and now people are finally catching up this last year to how incredible he is, the Triumph bag in the color Pebble, are we dying? Like this is my kind of gray. Honestly, there are my kind of grays coming up, but if I were to go for an actual, like more so cool toned gray, very muddled gray, this is what I would go for because it is just weird. It's cool. It's like, it feels innovative. I know it sounds so silly, but instead of just like very kind of blanket, easy toned grays, this one kind of tricks your eye a little bit. And it's just absolutely stunning. And I think especially in the Triumph bag where there's all that smooth, buttery leather where it's really gonna show off the color, this is just kind of the perfect combination. And then from Loewe, who I say, other than the Row and Bottega, or in conjunction with the Row and Bottega, and they're all neck and neck, I think that Loewe does colors, God, like they do the weird colors just so darn well. And this Loewe squeeze bag, I like the bigger size, just to be really honest. The Loewe squeeze bag in the large and the color pearl gray. See, like I'm onto something. Now you'll see, now you'll start looking at all the new released colors. And most designers have a gray, just saying. This color is stunning. It's so, so, so cool. And especially like if you want to lean into this, if you were someone who loved gray, who has always loved gray and has continued wearing it, like name a more perfect bag. It's so incredible. And I love that it's a little bit less conventional from the very like muddled shades of brown and nudes and beiges that we've been seeing from Loewe. I think this is a gorgeous deviation. And then again, a newly, or a color that is going to be newly released. I never know how to say this word, agate, and I'm a jewelry designer. I don't know. One of the twos, we'll go with agate gray from Bottega Veneta is releasing. And like the Andiamo bag in this, could you name a more perfect bag? I'm sure it'll be in a lot more colors. It's just like, it's kind of perfect. And again, a very cool toned, very blue gray. From Jill Sander, who we all love so much. This, I believe, I found in the men's collection. It's kind of a bucket bag, almost with like a really cool lid on it. Jill Sander knows all, okay? She's the minimal, literally 90s minimal queen. Like, can we just say that? She is the queen of 90s minimalism, literally. And this bag in this color, in this style, in this shape, like it's, you kind of couldn't go wrong with something that feels, again, like a little bit more in the forefront, but then obviously is such a nod to her heritage 90s minimalistic background. I think that this could be a really cool vibe. Imagine this with then a brown coat. Like that's something where you could really go in between. I love the idea of that. Oh, and I forgot to say this in with Bottega because there's a gray that even has gray in the name, but is really a brown, let's be honest, and it is the one color that I haven't added that I would love to add. I'm really hoping, I'm not sure if they will, but I'm hoping that the Andiamo clutch is gonna come out in this color in taupe gray, because that would be so stunning, and I would really have to save up for that and would really love to purchase that. Again, Bottega just does their cut, like they're just, that heritage quality is still there, and the way that they mix colors and then make them so saturated is like, blows my mind every single time. But could you also imagine taupe gray in the mini sardine bag? Like, you guys, I'm so happy that I have my medium sardine bag, aka the large, not the largest, but the large size with the shoulder strap. I'm so happy that I have it in the color fondant. But I would love to add in kind of the more weirder muddled colors that are new going forward, and taupe gray is absolutely highest on my list. Another one from Savette that I've been talking about, because this is also kind of cool, and there's a debate going on as to what color it actually is. There's a color called Mink, which sometimes it reads green, sometimes it reads gray, but there's definitely a brown hue in there. Brown is kind of the foundation of the color. Again, I have yet to see one in person, and I think it's one of those things, I know this happens with Hermes more or less occasionally, but colors kind of look different on each different leather that Savette's been using. We know I'm obsessed. I really have a symmetry post set on my wish list, very high up there, maybe number 1, maybe number 2. And the color Mink, I'm kind of obsessed. I think that in the thicker grained leathers, even the smooth leathers, this is a gray I can get behind, especially when it comes to a bag, because let's be honest, it's brown, but it's a gray toned brown, and that is what, like, if you're like me and have some obsession and don't want to let go of our brown bags, like, this is perfect. So that is leading us into the color gray. And then lastly, yes, maybe to save my, you know, favorite brand for last, the Row, I just have to say, because there's not that many currently being sold, the color Stone, I'm gonna go ahead and count as a grayish bag for the weird muddled brown grays. The color Stone, again, is my number 1. If I were to be lucky enough to add a Sophia into my collection in the next year or 2, the color Stone I talked about immediately as soon as it came out, because that color is kind of beyond words stunning. But also there are several grays from past collections that you can still find on the pre-loved market. So honestly, do some hunting, because the Row in past, I haven't seen as many right now, but in past collections has made the most gorgeous shades of like muddled brown grays, and I'm kind of obsessed. You guys, that has been, okay, controversial. I'm excited to hear all of your opinions. What do we think? Am I crazy, or am I looking into the future? I have no idea, but I really think that we're gonna be seeing just more and more and more and more gray as the year goes on, and I think in cool, unexpected ways, and ways that are kind of mixed with other colors. I'm obsessed, honestly. I wasn't here for it at first. I took some time to do some research, and honestly, people are wearing it. It's already started, and so someone ought to talk about it. And so I'm here, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, guys.